The Paula Show is on. The Paula Show. Come on, one and all. I extend an invitation to the Paula Show. Join in the conversation. Transforming behavior, recognizing our Savior, overcoming burdens, achieving dreams. Together we can succeed.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Paula Show. Tonight, my special guest, all the way from New York City, my favorite place on earth, is Mr. Dale Richardson, aka Skerrit Bwoy. He has so much to talk about tonight. Daggering, dancing, DJing. Oh boy, he has traveled to many places. And then, just before that multi-million-dollar contract that I believe you would have received, Jesus stepped in and everything changed. So you're going to be hearing an account of his life tonight. It probably will cause you to cry at times. It will cause you also to be joyful. But at the end of the day, let Jehovah be praised. Thank you for staying with us on the Paula Show. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Thank you for staying with us on the Paula Show. Remember to watch the Paula Show via CTV Channel 2 on Tuesday nights at 9 and Sundays at 1 in the afternoon. The Paula Show inspires, entertains, and transforms behavior. Like me on Facebook as well, The Paula Show. And please watch The Paula Show programs via YouTube at The Paula Show TV. My guest is Dale Richardson, aka Skerrit Bwoy, and it's going to be riot on set tonight because you already have me cracking up. How are you?
Crack up like a glass?
No. Tonight I want to talk about your life in New York, a little bit of your life in Antigua, but you left so early, so not much to remember. DJing, daggering, the music industry, and then we have to touch down like a helicopter on your conversion and how now you're in the kingdom. Let's go to music first.
First, I would like to just thank you for the opportunity on being on your show.
Yes.
The Paula Show, I can't believe I'm here. I feel so delighted. I feel so special. And I just want to say thank you very much. And thank you to your wonderful audience as well.
Thank you very much. You're so kind. We appreciate that.
I'm just trying to be like you.
No, don't make me cry now. Thank you. Reggae, dancehall, calypso. I have classical. My husband loves jazz. And then somebody was telling me about techno. What do you think is the impact of music on an audience? It doesn't have to be a party or carnival or even church.
Right.
Just people listening to music. What do you think the impact is?
Music is transformative. Doesn't matter what the genre of it is. I once remember a philosopher, I think it was Plato, that said, let the government control the laws, but let me control the music. Because the music is what controls the people.
Wow.
And I heard that quote a long time ago, and it made a lot of sense to me. Because you could really see it. You know, like, government can say whatever they want. It's power to the people when that music come on.
Yes.
You know, so.
And being a DJ some time ago, you know that when you turn up the speakers, people went crazy.
They still go crazy.
They still go crazy.
Except now I DJ for the Lord. I send them crazy in the spirit.
Hallelujah.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, when you're DJing though, that's the audience. But what about you?
Right.
The person actually controlling the music. What does it do for you?
I mean, I would say it's a good feeling. I would honestly say it's a good feeling, you know, because just to see that you're able to transform an atmosphere in that way, you know, and being the type of DJ that I was always very engaging, very call and reaction type of vibe, very you feed me, I feed you. So it was just like, one up, you know, hit the climax and we still want more type of vibe. So
when the people are not as energetic as you want them to be, you don't have to think, what am I going to play to get the vibe that I want? Or you already have your playlist before you start playing?
Nah, I would say it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of preparation. It's a little bit of responsiveness and so forth. But as a DJ, you have like trees of segments and sections that you could play in your mind. You know, like I was explaining to some people in some interviews sometimes, I don't listen to secular music. And that's because when I hear one song, it sets off a bunch of other like playlists and another sets in my brain. So it's not
because
just
it resides somewhere in your brain, so you kind of suppress it.
Yeah, and I've been like saved 10 years now, and up to now, like when I hear a song that I'm familiar with, it's gonna trigger a night.
Yeah, because there are some persons, they're saved, but when they hear a particular calypso, they find themselves humming.
Yeah, man.
Or, you know, jigging a little bit because, I mean.
So the word for that is actually nostalgia.
Nostalgia.
Yeah,
yes.
so music is very nostalgic. It brings you back to times, places, things, people, smells.
Yes.
Yeah.
The senses.
Yeah, it triggers you.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people with like Alzheimer's, dementia, and stuff like that, they bring back music from their younger age to see if it could re-trigger memories and help them to to set.
But in addition to music, because we're getting into the meat of this conversation soon, but I just want people to feel you.
Right.
So music, DJ, all of that. And then you spoke about traveling. And then I had to do some research because you said you went to the Buddhist temple in Japan. How was that?
Well, at that time I wasn't a Christian.
Right. I know. We'll get to the Christianity, but we're just unpeeling the layers.
Yeah. So
because I want to talk about travel now. You've traveled to Japan.
Yeah.
You said you went to China, the Forbidden City, and Jamaica, the Rastafarians, and Ghana, Africa. So
I went to Ghana after I got saved, though.
Oh, you went to Ghana after you got saved.
Yeah. So, you know, just traveling, I always try to give respect to people and respect to their culture and so forth. So wherever I went, you know, I hung out with the people and wherever they were going to worship
people
and
in
praise.
Japan?
Yeah, of course. I hung out with people in Japan. I got a lot of friends over there. Like the sauna I went over there with is called King Jam. So if you look up King Jam, they're based in Osaka. Big sauna over in Japan right now, man.
Wow.
So the main dude from King Jam, Pikal, his real name Shinpei. That's his Japanese name.
Yeah.
So that's like my homeboy.
And in China, that was a tour as well, part of the tour, or you just visited?
China is different. China, I was doing EDM at the time, electronic dance music.
Electronic dance music.
So EDM is electronic dance music. And at the time I visited China, I was with Major Lazer, and we were doing more like EDM type style over there. But yeah, we went over, we saw the Great Wall, we saw the Forbidden City, and, you know, just trying to learn about the cultures and so forth. And, you know, when you go down to Jamaica, of course, you're hanging out with the Rastas, you know what I'm saying? And even like in the Bronx where I grew up, and I'm sure you're familiar
I'm
with
a
the Bronx.
BX girl.
You're well
Morris
traveled.
Avenue off Burnside.
Yeah, man.
Before that, Davidson, Mount Hope.
Yeah. So big up 2200 Morris Avenue. Yeah, my people them that. We used to keep parties over there. Big up Buchanan.
Big up 20. No, what's my address?
You don't remember your address? Come on now. Well, when you
Big up 2205 Morris Avenue.
all right, now that's down the block, Burnside.
Yes.
Yeah. So I grew up on Creston Avenue, 2320 Creston Avenue, which is between like 183rd and Field Place. So,
That's my stomping ground.
Yeah. So I grew up in Creston. That was a rough coming up. You know what I'm saying? You surrounded by everything on Creston, you know. But growing up, you know, you didn't really see it as rough. You just saw like, all right, this is where I live, you know. Just go through. Yeah.
It's life. Ghana. I was in Malawi, Africa. I touched down in Ethiopia as well and Kenya. But I want to visit Ghana and Uganda. I have friends there. So how was it in Ghana?
Ghana's the place. Ghana's the
place?
Ghana's the place to be. Ghana's the place to be.
Sometimes I think you sound a little bit Jamaican, and then you switch and you sound American. What's going on with you?
I sound like everything. Everything. Paul says, I'm all things to all men.
All things to all people?
Yes, all things.
What did you take away from Ghana, though?
My biggest takeaway from Ghana was we all really one people.
Seriously?
When I landed in Ghana, I saw everybody over there. I saw Antiguans, I saw Guyanese, Trini, I seen Jamaicans. I was like, yo! And I'm not talking about like people from those countries. I'm talking about like Africans.
Yes.
Like,
this is our origin.
Exactly. Like, yo, I even ran into some people from like the Ashanti tribe, and I'm like, yo, y'all look just like me. Y'all look like my mom. Like, yeah. I'm like blown away. And I'm like, wow, I can't believe
The
it. It's like,
resemblance.
we are really
And
just
did
one
they
people.
speak like us? Did you understand their dialect?
Well, they speak a different language. They speak
Yeah.
Tree. The people that I was hanging out with, they spoke Tree. They were Ashanti people. But they have different people that speak different languages. Like the Volta region speaks different.
Right,
you know,
right.
But the people I
But
was
did they
hanging out
not
with, Tree.
speak, you know, even a semblance of dialect like Caribbean people? Because the dialect that we speak
Right.
in the Caribbean,
Right.
it's a derivative of the slave culture, and the people would have brought their culture across
Right.
the Atlantic. So I was just wondering if you heard people saying,
Well-
oh man.
It's a funny story to that.
Yes.
Where I was in Ghana, that didn't happen. But
Yeah.
let me tell you about when I did run into that. So the first time I went to Jamaica was around like 2006. And the first place I landed in was Manchester, Mandeville. Right? So I went up to Manchester, Mandeville, and we're there in the night, me and a young hawk from the Bronx. And we go there, play a little area party, have a nice time. Walk back in the dark to where we sleep in. Right? Wake up in the morning, come outside, look down on the floor. Red. The whole place red.
Blood?
That must say. So I'm like, yo, I so much man, them kill on here, dog. The place red. So the people in the village, they start laughing. So they say, yo, all the man, them a laugh at so much people dead. And when they say, no, up in that area, the dirt rich with like bauxite and different minerals.
Oh.
So the dirt itself red.
Red.
Yeah, so we're
So
laughing.
you're thinking it's blood.
Yo, me
but
say,
it's
yo,
just science.
you ever tell him, so you wasn't thinking it's blood too?
Yes! I was thinking it's blood because I do Montego Bay
Hey,
and Kingston.
hey.
Not Mandeville and those
Nobody ever
places.
told me about no red dirt. You see? And we got there in the night.
Yeah.
So we enjoy ourselves. So when I come out in the morning, I'm going to see it. So like there was an old man there,
Yeah.
right? And he started laughing.
Yeah.
And he said, boy, you sound like one of we for real, you know? I said, what do you mean by that? The man say, you sound like y'all one of we. I
Yeah.
said, no, man, I'm from Antigua. And he said, brother, listen to me. The whole of we are one. The same slave ship come, drop some in Jamaica, drop
And
some in Antigua, drop some down
so wherever.
So I say, boy, we don't know you talk about the papa, but boom. So fast forward now, in school one day, and I'm coming out of school, and I'm on the phone with my wife, right? And I hear somebody talking, but I couldn't pick up what they were saying. I was like, yo, that person they talk real bad. What? And then I said, hold on, and I turned around, and it was an African lady.
Yeah.
And same like you were talking, like the whole dialect, the twang,
Yeah.
the twang, the everything. I'm standing there like, what that old man said was for real. But, you know, she was hot and spicy on the phone, so I
Yes.
didn't want to disturb and ask her where
Right.
she from. But,
Yeah.
yo, trust me, this world, we all connected.
It's a
yo.
small world and we're all connected. You said you left Antigua at about age 9, so
Yeah.
there really isn't much to talk about Antigua. Skerrit Bwoy. That's... When I heard Skerrit Bwoy, honestly,
Right.
are we honest on the Paula show tonight?
Yes.
I thought that maybe you were living at Skerrit, the boys' training school for a while.
Eh.
So when I heard about you, I said, oh, I'm so glad that he was able to overcome the trials of Skerrit,
Eh.
the boys' training school.
Right.
And now he has grown up so nice and, you know, so successful and serving the Lord. And then I was blown away to hear, you've never been to the place.
No.
You never lived there.
No.
So it's just because your mom is from Casada Gardens or
Clear
Skerrit
Harbor.
Pasture?
My mom
But
is
why
from Clear
Skerrit Bwoy?
Well, I always wanted to be like the stone that the builder refused type vibe. So it's always being from Green Bay. My father's from Green Bay and my mother's from Clare Hall.
Okay.
So it's like people always think less of you. They always
What
think,
good can come out of Green Bay, right?
yeah, like that type
And
of
Grace
vibe.
Farm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to show them like, listen, even if you're the lowest of the low, even if you're the worst of the worst, there's always hope.
Yes.
And I won't let what you think of me stop me. So here what? Me the lowest. Me the one nobody no want. Me the Skerrit boy.
And you will rise.
And I rose.
Amen.
And yeah, man. And even when I became a Christian at first, I thought, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't really got nothing to prove anymore. You know, I don't really want that vibe anymore. But one of my teachers actually in college, because I went to a Christian college, right? And he said, listen to me. People know that God saved Skerrit Bwoy. So even if they don't know, like, you personally, Dale, that right there is a huge testimony. And you shouldn't let that go to waste. And at first I was just like, I mean, like, you know, Skerrit, they're the same person. Like, it don't really matter, you know. And then another one of my teachers met me, and he said, listen, don't be afraid of fame, because fame allows you to reach more people. And I said,
That's
like,
my point. I like that teacher.
but I was like, but like, does God need me to be famous? He could make me reach people being a normal
There's
person.
no need to minimize yourself. You're at the place the Lord wants you to be.
And that's what he said.
Yes.
Because for a long time, like, this right here would have been impossible. Like, I stopped doing interviews. I stopped doing radio interviews, TV interviews, web stuff. I just stopped because I was like, listen, I just want to make music. God told me to make music. I just want to make music.
Jehovah wants his people in all sphere of life. He wants us corporate. He wants us in the schools. He wants us everywhere, in agriculture, in every space.
True. And
he says when you step into that space, you take control.
Yes. So
I want to take you back to middle school. You attended middle school and high school in the Bronx. And PBS and art. You loved PBS. I like PBS too.
I love art. I love art. That was actually my first discipline.
Yes.
So, you know, growing up on 183rd and Creston, you know, there wasn't much to do in the apartment, you know. It was hard. There was like 11 of us living in a one-bedroom apartment.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. You come from poverty to poverty.
Yes.
You know, so it's like, you know, I remember I used to watch PBS because we only had the free stations, no cable. Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me.
I'm not laughing at you.
I know you know what I'm talking about.
I am feeling you.
I know somebody know what I'm talking about.
Yes, but I'm feeling you.
You got that TV with the knob, clack, 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 clack.
Yes,
yeah.
and the static. And
there
sometimes you place a metal hanger.
A little hanger, man. Yeah, get a longer reception. Yeah. So
you think you're speaking to someone who
Feel
grew
my
up
pain.
with a platinum spoon in my mouth? I'm feeling you.
Well, you're lucky
So
you have spoon. You use deep with my hand.
So you're watching PBS.
Yeah, so, you know, I'm watching PBS, and I remember there was this artist that came on. His name is Bob Ross back in the day. So the first time I saw him, he was just like there knocking out a paintbrush and slapping paint. I'm like, what's this guy doing? This is an artist?
Art,
Yeah,
yes.
like, all right. So I'm watching, and I'm waiting to see what he talking about, because he just slapping paint and he talking. And I'm like, what's
You better believe you could get millions for that.
Yo, listen to me, man. You see, by the time the man goes, so I'm going to put some happy little trees. And then I'm going to put this here, put a bird. There's the sunset. I was like, oh!
You saw the vision.
So I was like, yo, how'd he do that?
Yeah.
So I used to just like watch Bob Ross all the time. And then
And you painted? You painted?
I didn't pay. I couldn't afford paint. Paint what? Like, I had a pencil and I had a book. So whatever Bob Ross used to
sketched.
paint, I used to go and I try to draw it and I try to sketch it.
Interesting.
And one day I remember a commercial coming on for art school. I think it was in Massachusetts somewhere.
Yes.
Right? And they said, if you want to learn more art, you know, call this number, ABCXYZ. So at like, I was a preteen then. Maybe I was like 10, maybe 11, because I was still in the elementary. So I called the number. And I'm telling them like, hey, I saw your information on TV and I want to come to the college because I want to learn how to draw like Bob Ross.
Ambitious, aren't you?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, you know, they're talking to me, right? And they're like, how old are you? And I'm like, I tell them, like, yeah, at the time I was like 10 or 11.
Yes.
And they're like, well, you have to be 18 to go to college.
Aww.
And I'm like, why? I want to draw now. So they're like, well, what we could do, we could send you some resources so that you could keep practicing.
Kind. Yes.
Yeah, so you know, we could keep practicing, and when you become 18, then you could call us back and ABC. Yeah. They actually did. So I gave them my address, and they actually sent me some little pamphlets in the mail.
Wow.
So that's when I really learned art.
Yes.
Because previous to that, I was just kind of doing what Bob Ross did. But then when I started like reading the books and they slowed down and showed me how to take my time, like
formal now.
Yeah,
This is formal now.
Yeah, so I'm seeing like hues and saturations and gradients and contour
Contours
line
and tones
and so
and-
forth.
yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, all right, that makes sense. That makes sense. So fast forward now, we're going through elementary school, and I end up going to a special junior high school, which is right on your block, Captain Manuel Rivera, MS 279. So I end up going there. So boom, go there, still loving art, doing music, gymnastics, everything else, you know, that young kids do just to see what's going on. And then when time came for high school now, they were like, what kind of high school you want to go to? And I'm like, the easiest one, art. In my mind, right? Because in my mind, I'm thinking.
Because that's what you love.
not just what I love. I'm just thinking it's gonna be the easiest thing to
Right.
do. Right?
Oh,
Like,
you got a rude awakening?
No, man.
Oh.
For me, at that time, you know, art was easy. I loved
Yes,
it. I was doing it.
Because it's a natural fit for you.
Not really. I wouldn't even say I was like a
No.
good artist, but I liked doing it. So it wasn't like, if you told me like go to a school and study math,
Yeah.
that would have been like you stabbing me in the chest, like every day I gotta do math. You know, like I don't
Yeah.
want to do math every
But
day.
you don't mind doing art every
I don't
day.
mind doing art every day. Plus, art is so subjective. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could like spit on a piece of paper and then like,
I know.
it's like, it'd be like,
Because sometimes I see artwork
Yeah.
and I'm looking at it. I'm attempting to interpret the meaning, the idea, the vision.
Yes.
I'm still looking.
Yes.
And somebody's saying, oh my gosh. And then you hear
Yes.
somebody purchased it for $5 million.
There you go.
And I'm saying, but give me the $5 million, please. Please.
I got something in my house.
I'm going to take a break at this moment. We're talking about art, we're talking about dancing and singing. Stay with us on the Paula Show. This is part one of my conversation with Dale Richardson, aka Skerrit Bwoy. There's going to be a part two as well. Lots of conversation. We'll be right back. Stay with us, please. Thank you for staying with us on the Paula Show. Dale Richardson is my guest. He is hilarious. I'm loving him. I'm going to have a lot of fun tonight. Let me tell you, when you said that you like art,
Love art.
I am wondering if there's something wrong with me. I remember my art teacher was Heather Durham at the Antigua Girls High School. And the options were art, and they called it cookery at that time, home economics. And she said to me, listen, you won't make a living, you won't eat doing art. So you should choose cooking. You should choose home ec. You might be able to eat if you choose home ec. And that's what I did, because even up until this day, I can't even draw a box properly.
Oh my.
No, I was an educator, right, in
Right.
primary school. And I ensured that the artist in the class, I am best friends with them.
Right.
So they can help me to draw at times. Eventually I got better, but children help teachers to draw sometimes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I need a spare.
No,
Got
so
you.
I had to draw the islands of the Caribbean, teaching
Woo!
them. Yes, teaching them Trinidad shaped like a boot, teaching them, what do you call that? It's not geography, social studies.
Right.
You had to draw boxes to teach them math and fractions.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not good at that. So I'm so glad that the Lord has placed me in my lane, because I can talk from now until next year. Just give me some water to sip and I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
So while you were in high school, you became more of a capable artist, I should say.
Yeah, high
You
school.
even designed for fashion industry leaders, Tommy Hilfiger. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did a couple of notable things in high school. So with Tommy Hilfiger, there was like a competition.
Yes.
And I ended up winning out that competition. I did like a child's face in pointillism, and then it had 3 different colors. Yeah, so they took us up to like the Hard Rock Cafe, and they brought in like Andy Hilfiger, which is Tommy's brother. He's
Yes.
like the business manager and stuff like
Yes.
that. And they brought in like a special guest, and at that time, Little Vicious was big. So they brought Little Vicious in, and they were like presenting me awards and stuff. So that was like one of the bigger ones. And I also did Rosie Perez's logo. She had a foundation at the time called Reaching for the Stars.
Yes.
Yeah, so I did Rosie Perez's. And I would say,
And all this was in high school.
yeah, I went to the High School of Fashion Industries. And I would say the biggest project that I did, or most meaningful one to me at least, closest one to my heart, would be my high school logo. So when I first got to the school, it was like 90% guys. No, 90% girls. So
90% girls.
Yeah, when I first got to
Were
the
you
school.
happy?
What? Yo,
You didn't miss school.
Paula, yo.
You didn't miss school.
Let me tell you how I got into that school.
Tell me.
We applying for art schools, right? So I'm just going through applying for all of the art schools,
Yes.
right? At that time, art and design was the biggest art school that I knew
Yes.
of in the Bronx. So I applied for all of the art schools. So one day, me and my mans, we was going on to fashion industries. We got our portfolios in our hand. We jump off it was either the A train or the 1 train, and we walking and we talking. We turned the corner for the orientation. Nothing but girls.
Ooh.
Yo, Mr. Man, we look at each other like,
This is the school. This is the school. And you're going every day.
So, get back in the zone. So the school was actually 90% girls.
Yes.
So we didn't have enough guys for, let me say, capable guys
Yes,
for a basketball team.
Yeah.
So by the time I became a senior, there were enough people to do a basketball team, and they started the Fashion Falcons, and they actually chose me to do the school's logo. So I designed the Fashion Falcon, and I drew it on the gym floor, like hand painted.
Center court.
Yeah,
What?
hand painted. And
Big
everything.
league.
Yeah, by the grace of God.
Amen.
Even though I wasn't a Christian yet, by the grace of God, because it definitely like boosted my confidence.
And it opened doors for you.
Yeah, it opened a lot of doors, like a lot of scholarships and a lot of grants and a lot of like things that make you feel like, all right, this is not a waste of my time.
Yeah.
Like I could actually be an artist in America. You know what I'm saying?
So after high school, college?
After high school, not college, unfortunately.
Why?
So
you were doing so well.
I was doing great, especially in art. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not so much the other subjects, but in art, I just loved it, and I wanted to really pursue it and go on to like they had the college for what's called what's the college called?
I have no idea. I know nothing about art.
They had the college, and it was called FIT. So FIT was the college for fashion industry. So I was like, I'm gonna go to FIT. I'm gonna do it big. I'm gonna be the man.
But what happened? Why didn't you go?
So unfortunately, I was undocumented in America at that time.
No, that's a problem.
Yeah, I didn't have any green card. I didn't have any social security number. I didn't even have a visa. I didn't even have an ID. So it's like, if anyone found out I was there at that time, it would have been
deported.
Let's just say a little tricky. Yeah, I can laugh now, but at that time it was like, what?
But were you scared? Did you feel scared to move around because you think maybe?
I wouldn't say.
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I was scared.
But you just understood that you were stuck at a particular place, and unless it's regularized, okay.
So you just knew your limitations and so forth. But I wouldn't say I was scared.
And I read a book. My husband likes to draw books to my attention. I like to think deep, especially about my culture. I love my people. I love all people.
Right.
But I love my people because my people need a lot of love. My people need a lot of encouragement. And my people need you and I to be good, to be excellent at what we do, so it can motivate their children and their families to be better people.
Right.
And so I read some books that can help me to be the best that I can be. And he suggested Caste. I haven't completed reading it, but it's one of Oprah's books that she recommended. But this particular one, Behold the Dreamers. I believe the writer's name is Mbolo Bwoy. And it speaks about an African family coming to New York, undocumented. And that gentleman had to work several jobs. And it affected his family life because, in Africa, they like this tight-knitted family to some degree. And he wasn't able to spend time with his children. His wife wanted to be a pharmacist. And life was just so difficult, and they were undocumented, but their children were born there. And eventually he said, listen, I'm an African. I'm a man. I'm supposed to be able to take care of my family. I shouldn't be washing dishes in a restaurant, doing something else. And by the time I get home, can't spend time with my family. And he became angry. His wife didn't want to leave. But eventually, they returned to Africa. So it's tough. It's an unfavorable position to be undocumented, not only in the U.S., but in the UK, Canada, any place. But I'm glad that things worked out for you. One door closes, and you'd say another one opens.
Another one flew open wide.
Yes, because now you're documented. Praise the Lord.
Yes, I just actually got my citizenship in 2018.
Nice.
Yeah, man, by the grace of God.
Can you imagine? And way back then, you probably wondered, is this possible? Is this going to happen? But with Jehovah, all things are possible.
Amen. In Jesus' name.
You spoke about an award you won at high school as well.
Which
The
one?
Dancer of the Year.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So you enjoy dancing?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. In high school, I started also getting into music. So I
Yes.
was making like mixtapes, doing little DJ parties and stuff like
Yes.
that, and getting into dancing and all that good stuff.
Break dancing and stuff?
It was more like battle dancing.
Okay.
So it was more like freestyle, pop locking, buck
Oh,
up. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
twist up.
Yeah. And then we'll attack each other, like take people heads off, throw them away,
Looking
kick them away.
kind of robotic kind of thing.
Everything, any style, because it was like, New York City is a melting pot. And
Oh,
Fight
yes.
School of Fashion Industries
Yes,
was on
yes.
like 23rd Street. So it was like everybody from all over was there. So like whatever style you had, you bring
it on.
Yeah,
Bring
man.
it on.
But my style was always aggressive. So I used to just, tear up. Yeah, man.
Listen, you're making me laugh.
Yeah, man, tear up everything like paper, man. So I ended up getting the Dancer of the Year award.
Dancer of the Year award.
Yeah.
And you deserved it?
I don't deserve nothing, but I'm glad I got it.
Thank you for staying with us on the Father Show. We're going to return, and when we so do, we'll be speaking about him working in the music industry in Chinatown, New York. We'll be right back. Chinatown.
Yes.
Yes, sound systems, installing speaker boxes. How was that for you?
I mean, it was a wonderful time.
Yeah, loving it.
So right after I graduated high school, I put my cap and gown in my grandmother's hand. I went straight down to work in Chinatown, and I started, got a job like a stock boy at a music store where they sold like speaker boxes and sound equipment and stuff like that. And I was like just moving boxes and moving speakers.
That's where the big boy shop.
Yeah, it was. It was a great opportunity, fantastic opportunity.
So who did you meet?
I met so many people. So many people, and most people, even more important than that, like I learned so many things. Like I wouldn't be what I am today if I didn't learn so much there.
Positioning.
Yeah.
Positioning.
It's true.
It was tough because I'm sure you were working for minimum wage.
Below minimum wage.
Below minimum wage?
At that time I was making
That's
like
illegal.
I don't know what's legal. I don't know what's illegal. You know what I'm saying? I just give thanks for what I had. I know things could have been worse. I know things could have been better, but I was there and I was grateful to be there.
Oh,
wonderful company, wonderful people. Nothing bad to say at all. But at that time, I was making like $240 a week, like 6 days a week, 9 hours a day, sometimes 10.
Having to pay transportation and food and everything.
Well, they gave us lunch, so they gave us lunch because we couldn't go out for lunch, so they gave us lunch. Well, like I said, it was a good time. And like you mentioned, I met a lot of people. Yeah. Like if it wasn't for that job right there, I wouldn't have gotten like a lot of my dub plates. I wouldn't have met King Jam from Japan. That's where I first met Shinpei.
And you traveled to Japan.
Yeah, man, that's first where I met Picard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right there on Canal Street. And that's also where I met Kool Herc, the guy that invented hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And these are people that me and them are still friends right now.
That's
Colors
good.
International. Like who else was in there? Like so many people.
So many people.
Yeah,
numerous people.
Yeah, that's where. That's where the spot
after
was.
working 6 and 8 hours per day, did you still find time to DJ?
Of course. I find time to do everything.
You had your gigs. You had your gigs lined up.
Yeah. You find time to do everything. People find time for what they want.
Yeah.
So if someone tell you they too busy, just know they're not interested in whatever you're doing. So I was still out in the street hanging out on 2200 Morris, 183rd and Crested. You know what I'm saying? I was still out and about in the night, DJing, dancing,
and
hanging
promoters
around.
began to notice you.
Yeah, so we started throwing house parties. We started throwing house parties, and the house parties just started getting so big that people was like, yo, you gotta find a bigger venue. You can't do. So I thought, all right, we selling out these house parties. Let's get 2 houses. So we used to do like 2 apartments in the building, you know what I'm saying? And people were happy.
Ghetto Life Sound.
Yeah, man, Ghetto Life Sound. String up in them place, man. And this was actually before Ghetto Life Sound. This was like, I had a liquor thing where I tried called Them Liquor Boys. Yeah, man.
So you're doing on the mixer.
Yo, you gonna laugh because the first party I threw, I didn't even have like a real turntable. I had like a component system. So I had like the little belt drive turntable where you put on the record and it go
Yes, I remember
And then
those.
I had a tape deck that I used to record. I'm gonna blow up myself. I used to record Bobby Candace and Job up on the radio, right? So I'm playing like the woo 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 records that I'm picking up one by one on Moody's because I'm hardly making any money. Then Bobby Candace and Jabba got the new song, so I'm like DJing on the tape deck.
Yes.
And then I had like a one CD player where I put it in and had to like. So I'm working with all three of these things, right?
Yeah.
And the place a mash up. And I'm like, this I can do this. I can pull this off. You know what I'm saying? So fast forward a little bit, like my father was actually the first one who said, listen, we got to make this bigger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I give thanks to my father all the time because he was the first one who really believed in the dream, believed in the vision. And not just saying, a lot of people are like, yeah, go ahead, good for you. But he actually like took money out of his pocket, got us dub plates, got us sound system, got clubs rented for us, you know what I'm saying? And
so
like,
now
his friends
this
came
is called
around.
Ghetto Life Sound.
Now you got Ghetto Life Sound.
Now you got Ghetto Life Sound.
Ghetto Life Sound.
And that take off like a helicopter.
What you talk about, man? Jet plane, man. Concords. Yeah, man. Not the one that crashed, though.
No. The ones that go and then they land good. No crash, no crash.
It took off. It just really took off. And at the beginning, we do like a lot of sound clashes, so it was a sound clash and mash up everything. And then eventually I went more to like the dancing and entertainment realm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because like there were a lot of girls showing up. And after a while, it's like girls didn't want to hear too much dub plate. You know? So the girls didn't want to hear the girl song. Yeah. So it was like a whole bunch of girls.
So you had to know the audience. When you see a lot of girls, you know what to play. When you see a lot of males, and when you see a combination, And then Vybz Kartel, Mavado, Johnny Osborne, and other leading artists.
Yeah, man, you got everything on dub plate. Everything.
But you started working with them.
Well, I started working on them just getting dub plates.
Dub plates, yeah.
Dub plates, like that type of vibe. So when you start talking about like working in the industry as doing something great now, I would say it would be like when I got picked up by Major Lazer. So I got picked up by Major Lazer around 2008, 2009. And that's when we started doing like what they would call like the industry type of vibe. Yeah.
I am coming to Major Lazer because Major Lazer was a big deal in your life.
Yeah, definitely.
That was a turning point. That was one of the milestones in your life. Definitely. Whoa, I told you this was going to be a very interesting conversation. Can you imagine someone from Antigua working with music industry leaders? Wow, anything is possible. My people, dream big and believe in your dreams. You just never know what might happen. We'll be right back. Stay with us, please. Tonight on Set at the Polish Show is Dale Richardson, a.k.a. Skerrit Bwoy, and we're having a fantastic time talking about his life. So you told me before you were undocumented, so you couldn't travel internationally.
Right.
But then after a while, got your green card, and you were able to travel to distant places.
Oh, yeah.
So you've traveled to a few places.
Yeah, we did around 70 countries, I think.
70?
Yeah, about that. And
wow.
Like, yeah, when I retired, I was like on my 3rd passport.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Don't be.
I am. And you have lots more to go. Yeah. You have lots more to go.
Now I believe it.
No, you have lots more to go. That was just a teaser. The real thing is coming.
I receive it in Jesus'
name. Amen. Major Lazer, a Jamaican-American electronic dance music DJ.
Originally, it was Diplo and Switch. They were like a producer-DJ duo. And then I came on as the MC.
Okay.
Yeah, and then after I moved on, then other people came in.
Okay. Yeah. That was in about 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
And it was an extraordinary account of how you guys met. He was calling you and wanted to offer you a job, and you were not interested. How could you not be interested in Major Lazer?
Yeah, so when I initially got the call, it wasn't like a job or anything like that. It was just like a conversation, like a little conversation. They were looking for something particular.
Okay. So they were searching.
Yeah. So it kind of happened like this: minding my own business in my house, packing up, getting ready for a tour. I think I was going to Japan at the time, right? And then I get a phone call. So I'm like, "Yo, what's going on?" Boom. And then the person was like, hey, this is Diplo. I'm a producer. They gave me a number because I'm in New York and I'm making some records and I want you to come down and record for the album for me. So I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm not an artist. And he's like, and that's I didn't know Diplo. You know? And he's like, what do you mean you're not an artist? They're showing me videos of you on stage and people are jumping and getting crazy and like you're on the mic.
You were singing?
Huh?
You weren't singing. You were DJing.
I'm not sure what video he saw. You know what I'm saying?
I'm wondering.
Because, no, man, when my head lick, man, I do anything, man. And, you know what I'm saying? So it could have possibly been.
You singing.
It could have possibly been. I don't know. I didn't ask. You know what I'm
Probably
saying?
just a few seconds. But
Yeah,
anyway.
but I'm not an artist. Like, even though I do go out and I do chant vibes, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not like an artist. So that's never like a path that I wanted to take. So I was like, nah, man, I'm not an artist, man. Like, I'm my MC. Like, I hype them up because I'm just on the mic chatting. And they're like, what? Well, come chat on the record then. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, listen, man, I'm busy,
Not
bro.
interested.
I gotta,
Going on a tour, Japanese.
I gotta go. You know, so that conversation finished. And then like a few minutes after, one of my friends called me, like a guy that I knew like personally, because he used to have parties down in the city. His name is DJ Gravy. You know, and
DJ Gravy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so DJ Gravy, he's like a Jew, you know what I'm saying? He's like a white Jew guy, but he's like real.
Well, you're with all these people, Buddhist
everywhere,
and Jew and Muslim and everybody.
My cab drivers, up to this day, my cab driver from 2004 is Muslim. Yeah, man.
And you guys get along?
Yeah, he brought me to the airport.
And he picks you up?
Yeah, like that's my dude. Yeah, even like when I was going to like a Christian college, he was like cheering me on and telling me, he called me DJ. He'd be like, yo DJ, you could do it. Keep going. Don't stop. He's from Senegal.
That's good. That's
yeah, man,
good.
my man, Babacar, Senegal. Listen, I hang out with everybody and I love everybody genuinely.
We can learn from everyone.
Every single body. We all human at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because I think about myself, like, even before I got saved, I was still a person.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That I didn't want anyone to be like, I can't love you because you're not a ABCXYZ. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, regardless of wherever I meet you, as long as we got that vibe, you know what I'm saying? Because just because we're both Christians don't mean we're going to have the same vibe.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
and just because you're not Christian doesn't mean we can't have that vibe. So when we meet and we got that vibe, we're going.
But really and truly, you made a statement earlier. You said, basically, it's a small world and we're all connected. And our Heavenly Father wants us to love in spite of culture, color, race, creed, religion. He wants us to love.
Amen to that.
And love overcomes every obstacle.
Amen to
so
that.
So you continue with your Jewish, Buddhist, Muslim, all your friends.
Yeah, of course. These are still my friends. Like I spoke to Pikal not too long before I got down here. He's in Japan still doing his thing. Like I said, my Muslim homie, he dropped me off at the airport before I came down here. You know?
And your Jewish homie, he called you some time ago. That's
Gravy?
Where we were.
Right.
Gravy.
So Gravy called me shortly after, like a couple of minutes after. And he's like, yo, what's going on, man? You feeling all right? I'm like, yeah, man, what's good, bro? I'm getting ready to go to, I think it was Japan. I'm getting ready to go to Japan. And he's like, oh, word? All right, cool. Did a guy named Diplo just call you? And I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, it was mad weird. And he was like, what happened? I told him, he wanted me to do like some artist thing or some record or something.
Yeah, I don't do that.
And he was like, yo, bro, so what you told him? I said, what you mean what I told him? I'm not an artist. I told him no. And Gravy was like, bro, do me a favor. Go see that man.
Oh.
And I'm like,
is this serious?
Yeah, and I'm like, Gravy, dude, like, I'm busy. Like, I'm doing something like I ain't gonna go see nobody. And he's like, Skerrit, I never asked you for anything in my life.
This is becoming more serious.
He said, do me a favor, bro. Go see that man. So, again, it's Gravy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have no reason to mistrust Gravy. You know, he never led me astray before. He was always a cool. So I said, all right, bro, I'm gonna do it. So hung up from Gravy, called him back. I said, all right, where you at? What you doing? ABCXYZ. So we set up a meeting. We was gonna meet at Dream Studio down in Broadway.
Yeah,
like, I think it's like Soho around that area. So boom, we get to Dream Studio. We lock in for a little session, and they're just like explaining the project to me. And in my mind, I'm like, yo, I don't like EDM music. Like, I do dancehall, I do soca, I do, like, this isn't my thing.
Genre is not my deal.
Yeah. Because at that time, like, it was just not my thing. Like, that wasn't my vibe. Because it's kind of again, to me, it just wasn't it. Like,
It-
it didn't have
you're not-
many much
you're
words.
not- you're not feeling
yeah,
it.
it
You're
didn't
not
make it. It
feeling
just
it. You're not
it was
feeling
just an
it.
obscure genre that was just kind of
Yeah.
there, but just not for me. You
Uh-huh.
know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm there and I'm listening, and then they're explaining how they want to infuse like reggae and EDM and do stuff like that. So I'm like, all right, so let me hear what's going on. So then they play some songs. I'm like, yo, it's not too bad, you know. And they have some notable artists on it, like that, like Elephant Man.
I've
They
heard
had,
of Elephant Man.
Vibes Cartel. They had like
Jamaican music.
yeah, it was mostly reggae. It was all reggae
Okay.
artists,
Uh-huh.
if memory serves me correctly. It was all reggae artists. So you know, we go through, we listen, and I liked 2 of the songs, and I said, all right, let me take those 2 songs, and I'm gonna take them with me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna try them out and see what kind
Long
of response
flight,
they get.
listen to them,
Yeah.
see what happens.
Yeah. So, you know, I said, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, but again, I don't know about the music, bro. So he gave me those songs, and then I said, make me a CD with, at that time, CD Aguan. And I said, make me a CD.
That was a long time ago
Yeah.
for real.
It was like 2009, right?
Yeah.
2008, 2009. So I said, make me a CD with more songs from like your sphere of influence. So
Yeah.
I could kind of see what direction you're headed
Yes.
and where y'all at now and like what I could add to it, if anything.
Yes.
You know, so he burns off a CD with their music and another one with other people's music. And you know, we say our what's ups and our goodbyes and I move on. So now, you know, on the flight, listening to the songs, I'm like, all right. At that time, the Daggering thing did I go on heavy.
Yes.
So I'm saying, all right, I could fit this cartel in a Daggering segment. I could fit this Jovi Rockwell and Vegas in my early one segment. Boom, get over to Japan. So this wasn't even like, the first show we did there wasn't like one that I was scheduled for. It was kind of like a guest appearance kind of promotion vibe. So I go up, juggle like an early segment, drop the Jovi Rockwell and the Vegas, you know, Japanese, them give you a nice response on them thing. They pick up the space, start do some 19 juggling, then go into the Daggering. So when we do the Daggering segment place, I go on good, and then I drop the cartel on the floor.
Oh, wow. The
Yo.
people went crazy, Vibes Cartel.
Miss Seman. Yo.
People on the ground.
Yo, people pan gong all around.
People rise
People
like
in a
helicopter.
ceiling. Yo, people pan bar. Yo, we are slide down banister. Yo,
You see, that's
Yo.
what I was talking about initially. The impact of music.
can't
It
say.
can cause people to do things that they're not even
Yo,
aware
the place
they're
look
able
like
to do.
me drop a bomb in there. People just blow up. Yo, people. I'm gonna say, yo, that song you can't work. Yo,
You definitely
it
will be
pull
getting
up.
on board.
For about 20 minutes, this song pull up, Paula.
What?
Yo, this song pull up. Wheel
Wheel and come again.
Japan wheel. One more time. Give me it
You're
again.
not tired?
Tired what?
You weren't tired?
Yo, me say, man, we left out the sweaty. Yo, pain. Yo, beer vibes. Man and woman a limp out. A high five and a laugh.
Oh, Lord.
And me say, yo, that song you can
You
work.
have to get into that deal.
That song you can
Yeah.
work. So that was the song right there
Uh-huh.
that moved me to Japan, man. Because people start hearing about it now.
Everywhere you went, you played it.
How you mean, man? Make sure me save it, man. And flatten it out.
What was the name of the song?
On the floor by Vibe.
On the floor?
Yeah, man.
On that note,
Yeah, man.
we're going to end this segment
Don't
of the
man.
Paula Show.
Man.
Pan the Floor. Well, if it's Pan the Floor is the name of the song, what do you expect the people to be?
A what?
Pan the Floor. Thank you for staying with us tonight on the Paula Show. It was our pleasure to present part 1 of my conversation with Dale Richardson, a.k.a. Skerrit Bwoy. Join us next week, Tuesday evening at 9 via CTV Channel 2 for part 2 of my very interesting conversation with this guest. Have a good evening. Goodbye.